Hello, dear friends. I'm not sure what was your reaction seeing those numbers, but every time I see these numbers, it really put me to think. And I'm both excited and a bit worried. And let me put you a bit of a context on this. Let's take, for instance, Facebook. 1.2 billion monthly active users. Now, Facebook grew faster than anything else on planet Earth in human history. You can compare it to anything, from the development of the empires, the Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire. You can compare it to the spread in terms both numbers and speeds and intensity to any disease. You can even compare it to the Christianity. Or you know what? Compare it to the spread of TV. Or compare it even to the spread of the internet. Nothing, but nothing grew that fast as Facebook did. It took from 0 to 1.2 billion in less than 8 years. 1.2 billion in 8 years, and I want to share some of the things that I find it relevant for myself, and also I think all about you. I think if we would be to ask you how many of you are on Facebook. Okay, everybody. Sorry? You will soon be on Facebook. See you next month. There are three fundamental things that Facebook changed completely. And that is, first, the way we network, the way we keep contact with our friends and family, first. Second, the way we consume content, be it news or infotainment, and the way we entertain ourselves. In fact, today, Facebook is the biggest networking platform in human history. Not only that, but in terms of content consuming and content sharing, you would find some very surprising, funny things like CNN.com, which is the biggest news website. The biggest referral of CNN.com is not Google anymore, it's Facebook. So you see more people coming from Facebook to CNN than any other website in the world. Same goes with Yahoo News, which is one of the leading news property. And it's funny, Facebook is sending more people to Yahoo News than Yahoo sent to Yahoo News, right? How crazy is that? And you know what? Some of you might know that YouTube was acquired by Google. So YouTube, which is the fourth largest website on planet Earth, the leading video social network, which is owned by Google. You're right. Facebook sends more traffic to YouTube than Google sends to YouTube. So not only that, but today, Facebook is the biggest platform in terms of number of gamers. So in terms of entertainment, it's still. So these are the three aspects which are fundamentally different because of Facebook and because of 1.2 billion people. And this altogether make me believe, and of course you will not say anything else against this idea, that we are now part of a revolution. And that revolution is the social revolution. Some technical people will call it social media revolution. And this is my revolution, it's your revolution, it's our revolution. And if you put it in time perspective, it took like only 8 years to do so. Question. Do you recognize this guy? I thought so. Mark Zuckerberg. He said something particularly smart in 2010. He said there is going to be an opportunity over the next 5 years or so, and we are end of 2013, so another 2 years for this to happen, to pick any industry and rethink it in a social way. Now, let me give you an even broader perspective on what's going on right now. All our life became digital. Think about the cars we are driving. They're full of software and they're all digital. Think about the navigation system we're using to get from here to there. It's all digital, sometimes even social. Look how we listen to music. It's all digital and it's all online. Look how we watch video or how we watch TV. Everything is digital and everything is online. It's on YouTube, it's on Netflix, doesn't matter. It's still online, it's digital. And you know what? Even think about, I mean, all of you will have mobile phones in your hands. And I'm particularly delighted to announce you that 1/3 of you here in this audience is starting the day by checking the Facebook status, okay? Before going to pee, before having the morning coffee, before having the shower in the morning, you're checking your Facebook status. And this is, again, a way of, if you don't believe me, look at this number. More than 36% of divorces in UK listed Facebook as a contributing factor. Yes, everything is dramatically changed, everything, even the divorces are changed in the structure they're appearing, right? So, we're living this, and I don't need to give you more examples to understand that we're living a digital revolution, which has at the epicenter of it a social revolution. Now, one thing remains stuck, the same way it was executed, managed, and run 20, 30, 40, even 60 years ago, and that is the way we manage and we run elections. And elections, for some of you, might sound like something very boring and not interesting because, again, like half of you will not go and vote. But I can tell you, after running more than 20 elections in more than 3 continents, elections can be very, very passionate, can be very emotional. Sometimes you can have some epic victories, sometimes you can suffer. But for sure, one thing is for sure, elections are not dry. And you look now at the politicians and the campaigns and the candidates, they're still acting and they're behaving like 20, 30, 40 years ago, like they're socially blind somehow. And you know, elections, let me put you the right perspective on elections. Elections are those moments, those super moments in which countries are taking decisions, right direction or wrong direction. And this is impacting your life. And your life, I still don't see you, but I know you are there, and this is impacting you. And impacting actually millions and millions of people's life. It's in essence, what is happening during election is there is a redistribution of political power. And political power, it's something that makes the world spin. Now, ta-da. I want to give you perspective on political power. Now, these are the four powers that are here since the beginning of mankind, and these are the 4 powers that are making the world spin around. And we're starting with the symbolic, with the religious one. I don't need to give you any details to understand how powerful the religious power is. And then military. Military became, and it was for centuries, and for centuries it was the dominant force, balancing resources, influencing people's lives, so on and so forth. And then, in the last 200-300 years, the economic power turned to be more and more influential. And of course, political power, in this context, with us here around the table, will not need more explanation. And again, I've been running campaigns in countries like Albania, like Ghana, in Serbia, of course in Romania, in the United States. So, after all these years in practicing, in doing things on the field, from a strategy point of view to a tactical point of view, working with presidents and working with prime minister, I come to the conclusion there is a brand new power that is right now in front of us and we are part of it. And that's the digital power. Now, the digital power, it's something that, what is digital power? It's everything that you are doing basically on a daily basis. You are fighting for causes, you are going online, you are donating, you are putting your ideas, you are finding for a project or against a project. By the way, in Romania, it tends to be more like people fighting against projects than to support projects, but there's something specific, something local. Don't ask me why, maybe you have the answer. But then, you see it in action, and we do it individually, we do it in groups, we do it in larger groups, we do it as nations, and then we do it as one global digital power. And let me give you 3 examples, you're all going to love it. First one, US, one of the most balanced democracy, mature democracy. Now in some states, in United States of America, if a certain number of petitioners, online petitioners, are coming and submitting their vote for this specific petition, if it's reaching a certain number, and this varies from state to state, it's becoming automatically a draft law, which automatically go in the local council to be debated and then voted. So this is a great way how digital power takes your idea and makes it a law that you believe is better for you. The first thing. The second thing is, I recently was in United States in a conference pretty much like this one, but dedicated to political technology and campaign, and I met with a guy which is running a website called care2.com. Now he showed me he has more than 22 million volunteers that every day they're fighting for something. They're donating, they're contributing, they're going offline, they're going online, they're educating themselves, they're having an impact. And this is another great way, is like through online networks, they're fighting for something and they get an action offline. And the third example, which is maybe the most dramatic example, is what we would call today as the Arab Spring. Now, Arab Spring, what it was there? It was some guys organizing themselves online, going to the social media, finding more people that share their ideas, outreach even more number, going offline, demonstrating, coming back online for reinforcement in social media, and at the end, what happened? They changed the political power. The digital power changed the political power. This is the first time in history we see something like this. So if you ask me, is it a revolution? The answer is yes, it is a revolution. And now, I have one question for you, which is somehow not for you. Do you think that the politicians, they really understand what's going on? Do you think that they really engage? Do you think they listen? And to what extent they're engaging in this? My answer is no, they're not engaging, they're not listening enough to what's going on. But here is some interesting number I want to share with you. We have now more than 140 million people that are going to vote in the elections in the next 3 years. What does it mean? It means those people, together with people like you between 18 to 30, 35, we form a generation that is a digital native generation. While we're digital native voters, and we live basically in digital channels, we see that the politicians are digital immigrants. They don't understand us, and they don't understand the digital power, they don't understand how to react on us. And this is something that it's of a great interest, because the stake is the following. If they don't evolve to that stage to really understand us and to really embrace some of our values to that point that they become like relevant to us, they will politically disappear. So either they embrace and they evolve, or they will die politically, of course. And here are some numbers, but this is only Facebook, right? I mean, if we put Pinterest, if you put Instagram, you're going to see even bigger numbers. And let me tell you something from the battlefield. I mean, the older voters will always vote for their voters of preference. And in elections are being won with 3 categories of voters. The voters that are, we call them swing voters, the voters that are undecided, and with the voters that never voted. And what happened is that the easiest way to create your popular support is by becoming relevant to us, because in numbers, dear digital members of the digital revolution, we are becoming, in percentages of voters, we are becoming more and more, right? So they either adapt or they disappear. And then, of course, in between us, there are some of our colleagues. And I have one question and one idea to share with you. Where are all the digital marketeers and digital communicators and email marketeers and web analytic experts and digital gurus in strategy and social media experts and content development, web developers, web designers, social monitoring experts, data experts, so on and so forth? Where are they, where are we in this digital chain of the redistribution of the digital power? And I think we have a mission here. We have the mission because we understand both sides. We can put them together and we can bring them somewhere in between. And my message would be, I will come with an invitation for all of you who understand digital marketing and digital communication. Go in your local communities and visit your senator, visit your mayor, visit your congressman, visit your minister, visit your prime minister and president, and teach them how this world works. Because what happened as a consequence, they're going to start understanding and they're going to be better politicians. And better politicians, they create more predictable and decisions that are based on facts, like we are used to work. And at the end of the day, what is going to happen through this translation, they are going to have laws that are closer to what the people have to say, to what their own voters believe in, to what we believe in. And with this in mind, I want to leave you with one idea, and that's a vision that it's keep hunting us, is this. In this process of helping the politician understand how digital power works and how we action what we believe and understand us, I think that slowly, slowly, politics is going to have the shape of how the internet and how social media works today, and that is in real time. So, real-time politics. This should be the practical solution, the real solution, if you ask me, the only solution, in which the political power and the digital power are going to come together. In this way, they can express the power that is in us. Real-time politics. Think about it. Thank you very much, gentlemen.